Okay, I really need to press the doesn't I gotta give it like a little wiggle. Gotta give the model a little wiggle, or else it doesn't pick up for some reason. And also, like this time, I do have music set up, or getting good old-fashioned Valhalla music. Gotta love that. Okay, you know how we like to start this off. You gotta stretch. You gotta stretch, especially since I always spend my half hour for lunch getting up the stream, just like relaxing on the couch, pulling off from whatever it is I'm doing. I didn't even like say. I just took out the recycling, vacuumed the carpet. Was like, you know what? That's good enough for now. I don't need to push myself too hard. I'm feeling overwhelmed. Take a big old breath. Ooh. Yeah, that's the good shit. That is the good shit. Yeah, you know, scrunching and shrimping up is good, but have you actually? But have you ever tried stretching? Can we do it? Yeah, let's do this. Get something up. Hey there, heroes! My name is Hero Girl. I'm your friendly local neighborhood hero tuber, and this is the Daily Grind. Today is March 12th, Tuesday, 2026. It's a good day. Kind of a relaxing day. Actually, for the first time in like forever, I woke up early this morning, just from like, you know, bodily functions. Needing to get water, needed to use the washroom. And I was like, you know, normally I would just get on with my day, get started, take this as an opportunity to like get some more stuff going. But then I was like, but you know what? I have the freedom to just like go back to it. And guys, that is a thing that I am allowed to do. I am allowed to just like go back to bed and enjoy the warmth and company of my wife. Hug a little body pillow. Get some extra, get like an extra hour or two. I am sleepy, but like I feel refreshed. I feel refreshed from like, you know, seizing the opportunity that being a self-employed homemaker affords me, which is just getting to do the extra sleepy. It helps that, like, as far as writing goes, what I'm doing right now is I'm currently catching back up on the half a light novel that I've written so far, rather than actively working on the draft that I sent back and I'm waiting for beta feedback on. So it's like, I don't need to use as much creative energy right this second. And, you know, rest is an investment. You need to think about it that way. Think of rest as an investment in future productivity. You don't require to be an investment, you know, to earn rest. You don't have to earn rest. But sometimes it's good to remind myself that actually, you know, you need cooldown periods. Even machines need cooldown periods for maintenance. And the body's no different. Lucky, thank you so much for the 100 biddies. And Kellen, thank you so much for dropping the luck reading. Thank you. So it works, so stuck watching your phone for now. Oh, I'm so sorry, man. They've been running you like silly for the past month, it feels like. By the way, we're currently on just like play a lot of land. So that's going to naturally lend itself well to green. I'm thinking that I would like to work on my Titania deck. That's probably what we're going to end up doing today. Titania's a landfall deck. We want to cycle through a lot of land. Just 4 more land? Yeah, it's just 4 more land. They don't have to be like unique. Why did I think they had to be lands with different... Not sure why. But we do just like have a ton of utility land. In fact, I sometimes wonder if maybe we don't have like too many goddamn lands. Maybe I actually do just want to cut out a thicket to have like another fetchable forest. Remains to be seen. Twinkle thicket can be good for like... Today was truck day, but for some reason it was scheduled for a 9-hour shift. God damn it! God damn it! Working you hard, man. They're working you hard. Deck doesn't have a lot as far as like haymakers go. Which I think is probably what I need to consider like putting back into the deck. I think I had an Ulamog in here at one point, but that's a haymaker that requires a lot of like vertical mana ramp as opposed to like horizontal ramp where we're just trying to get landfall triggers. So part of what today is going to be figuring out exactly what we do. Like what haymakers can we put in this deck that'll work, and I think maybe it's something like a paradigm. Paradigm card could be good. God damn it. Lucky's on the 95 stream. 5 more? He got the full 100. I don't know if that's like full 100. Yep. Right now, Titania's relying a little bit too much on turning into a giant woman. For the win condition, I think. I think that's part of what's killing us when we play Titania. Is that we are very good at getting into the grind game, but we don't have any haymakers that help pull us out of it. It's funny because I've started hearing Phil on Third and you use the term as well. But it is just kind of exactly how I've been recontextualizing some of these really huge win the game on the spot type of cards. Birds, crop rotation with an Argoth. This could theoretically go into Dark Depths type turn. Up against Quatoria's History Chaser, which I've been seeing quite a bit for, and it can do some really powerful runaway stuff. So a forest cards, your hand, and library perfect free folk. They might just bolt the bird, not bolt the bird. Yes. They do bolt the bird. Never mind. Never lucky. I can drop Argoth, and then we also have Haywire Might. I'm trying to think if there's like a crop rotation target that I would want to hold on to. I do have some cards that would be good. I'd probably want to wait until they have more targets in the graveyard to do that though. So let's go ahead and just, for tempo reasons, drop Argoth. Drop the Haywire Might, and drop Nykthos on the next turn even. There's also engineering here, which we can use to make tokens. Boggrove Summoner will turn all of our searchable forests. Okay, so this is going to go from... Might have something that turns all our fetchable forests into Badger Mole. I play the Badger Mole card. That gives me 2 mana left over. That Arden Veil could represent like a Mana Tithe. I think that's... And... Alright. Animate the forest and pass the turn. Now we're in the position where we could actually like go into Wildgrove Summoner to make all of our lands creatures. Huh. They run out of interaction? Maybe, I guess. Hard to know exactly if what kind of concession point they've reached if in their hand, but like unless they had something that they really wanted to protect, I don't know that they needed to use the Lorehold Charm on our Might. I can only assume that they did. Also, I'm still having this weird feeling with my mouse where I go over to click on something and then maybe I'm not like clicking quite on the thing. I don't know if it's just like tiredness because I reach over and I'm not doing like the full reach motion, or if it's like a battery issue. Probably just try replay point just because. Okay. Also, I have no plans for not streaming regularly this week. But because my wife and I are planning on heading out to a bar event tomorrow night, I keep thinking I have plans. Weird. Yava won't care about the Urborg. Urborg is here to help facilitate the Dark Dust combo. Delighted Halfling, Snow-Covered Forest, into Titania. Tribute to the World Tree is uncastable, but maybe we parlay that into Weathermaker. I think this hand's good enough. We're up against Tot Yava, which can accelerate a lot faster than we can. So, whenever land you control enters, put a charge counter. Yep, and then they've got the exploration, which they can use a lot faster than we can. I could play Smart Tucko. Am I just using the Weathermaker here? It taps for any color, kind of regardless. So actually, yeah, give me that Weathermaker now. Because now this is just a mana rock that can help bridge us into either Tribute to the World Tree, Shia, or Ice to Explorer. Oh, and they also have Weathermaker. This is what? Remove 3 charge counters to deal a damage? That is. I can Ice to Explore, I guess? I don't have any lands to, like, follow it up with. To the north. What am I doing here? I would like to get Tribute to the World Tree down. But I only have, like, 2 green sources to begin with. Currently, what? 4 mana? For land you control, enter. Yeah, I think what I'm gonna do is let's go ahead, bestow onto the Delighted Halfling, then we'll into the north. Oh, they just straight up have Counterspell. Okay. Do I want to get the Dark Depths? Doesn't help me cast the Tribute, but I think I will. Because I think that the best way for us to win is to potentially turn this into a Thespian Stage combo. Just like, get them. This is one of those Haymaker plays that we do have in this deck. We do have to be cognitive of the fact that we need a lot more charge counters if we want to make this an answer to Tot Yava. They have 2 cards in hand. We have 2 cards in hand. Play a Shia now. Which means now that we can play Ice to Explore. We also can play our Ancient Green Warden, actually. No, I want to play the Ice to Explorer. The Ice to Explorer has a chance to, like, dig us a lot better. A lot more easily without using the Weathermaker as well. Praying that they didn't just, like, hit lands is like praying that, Yep, okay. Okie dokie. Alright, let's try and go with Ice to Explorer. Alright, so that works. And then I will also 3 damage to any target. This is only, like, creatures on board. Yep, they can play Tot Yava. They still have 2 land drops. There's their Evolving Wilds. We're gonna be stuck in a bit of a fight fest here. I've got this Archdruid's Charm that I can use to, like, get rid of their Weathermaker. I can also get rid of their Tot Yava just through the fight. Because they can just replay everything. I think I need to get rid of that Explorer. Like, anytime that Tot Yava has extra land drops, that becomes the thing. And also, like, I've got 2 land drops here, so if I hit, like, lands, I'm okay, but I'm not great. Ooh, Thespian Stage. That's exactly what we want. Okay. If I had, like, a way to get haste, that'd be pretty... 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's double land drop. I can just, like, play a creature, actually. I can also, like, get rid of this Weathermaker. Tot Yava would cost 9. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. No land drops. I want to be able to leave back... How do I want to do this? Let's go. I don't have to like tap the creep. Then I don't want to. Oh, Yavimaya, that's a good one. That's a good one. And then I can actually do this, make a bunch of mana, and then also Archwitch Charm as well. I'm not going to attack because I need a Shia to help pay for stuff. Oh, that is actually really awkward. I did not set that up correctly. I forgot that the Nykthos is going to take mana to activate. So this is going to be 1 to activate the Okay, so I used the Herbor. Okay, I used Dark Depths and I used a Shia. I use that to pay for the Nykthos. Nykthos makes mana. Yep, they draw 3 cards. They're currently dead in 2 shots. So I need to be able to like push additional damage. Alright, so first things first. Green. Black. Use this. That makes green. Now in a position where I can go... Yeah. Let's put a counter on a creature. And then have it fight. So if I fight the Badgermole Cub, the island doesn't do anything. Have it fight the island? I guess they tap in response. Okay, so they're going to counter target spell, return target creature to an hand, create a token that's a copy of target creature, draw a... Sure, that all resolved. Then they do get to Earthbend again. I'm trying to think of a way that this works. Where... we can, like, get them for the last 9. We're gonna choose the permanent... yeah, my turn. Scouring Storm Soul. We just, like, push attacks, right? Yeah, this is 1, 2... I can just, like, set this up again, though. The Yavimaya would actually be huge for resolving more stuff, but... Alright, so like that's our 2 land drops. I did not play anything like attack with everything. They have to block. They still have Tadyava. They can still do some crazy thing. What do I do if they take out my card? That's actually a problem. Let's go Nykthos. Add green. And let's see, you give an additional... No. Let's play Tribute to the World Tree. And then also Weathermaker. And then this will help us be able to make a new avatar. In case something happens to our avatar. Because they could Psych Rift right now, right? And that would actually set us back. It means that we don't get to do the... No. We would tap the Weathermaker for mana. And we would let that float. And then we could go ahead and still make a new avatar after it resolves. That's right. We need to find more stuff like... Dark Deaths that helps us get there. Yep. Get the Tot Yava. That's not mana that's being spent on Psych Rift. They get a draw. They currently have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 mana. Lotus Cobra. Yep, that's a good one. Track the Fabled Passage because the Earthbending is going to come back. I have to be careful with how I'm holding my clock right now. If they find like anything with reach that also works. They might also just like have a single target spell for the next combat. But I've got Ancient Green Warden coming up. Brennan 7. Okay, yep, that's another good one. They have so many counters on the Weathermaker. Alright, Brennan 7 did not make a reach token. That feels like big. Also, if they go into like an extra turn, that's also a huge problem for me because they could just like get up to the point where they just have enough life again to take another hit from Merit Lodge. Like, we're fighting. We're not losing by any stretch of the imagination. But, oh, they have, like, 3 mana left? Holy shit, we got there. Okay, had to finagle that just a little bit, but that's good. That's good. That makes me really happy that I started including Urborg into the Dark Depths list, because being able to actually use Dark Depths as a land that taps for mana is so important for being able to pull stuff like this out. I'm trying to think. Like, even just like a Psych Rift kind of does it. Right? It's if they have a single target bounce card that they can use during combat on our turn, yeah, we can go ahead and just do another one. But then they still have like blockers. I've got this Weathermaker that will just like start turning things into more damage. That's how we want to go. That's how we want to go. We want to get to the point where it's just like a Haymaker can end it. Maybe we do it. Wanting like the Paradigm card. And if we don't get today's daily, like, it's just plain lame. So we compare that with whatever daily we get tomorrow. Vanya Divergence. Whatever. Whenever you cast a spell, if it's the first instant and the first sorcery, or the first otter spell other than Alanya you've cast this turn, you may have target opponent draw a card. If you do, copy that spell and choose new targets to copy. Is this like a low state deck? Maybe. What do we have? Exploration's really good to start with, especially with Sylvan Scrying, Charm as removal, Ancient Green Warden, letting us play fetch lands from the graveyard. This seems pretty good. Woodlands comes into play tapped unless you control forest. Same with Castle Gambrick, so we need to start with our Rainforest. Yeah, we need to start with our Rainforest. Grab a basic. And then theoretically we could Sylvan Scrying into what? It's gonna be Cavern of Souls? It might be Cavern of Souls, just so that way we can resolve the green. Yeah, we've got the gate that we can search for. I don't know that it makes a difference between Shifting Woodland or Castle Gambrick right now. Alright, so they're going tap land. I don't necessarily need to Sylvan Scrying right this second. We do have like 2 lands that we can drop now. I could even go to Tanya if I really wanted. I think I might. Yeah, let's go to Tanya. Tanya's going to be really hard for them to remove. And now I can Sylvan Scrying, grab Argoth, and start sending up that way. Ooh, Ral, Monsoon Mage. Okay. Well, now Sylvan Scrying doesn't actually grab what I wanted to grab. That's awkward. That's off. I do need to absolutely get rid of the Monsoon Mage, though. So, do we Archduous Charm, fight, hold the scrying for next turn? No, I want to be able to cast a Shia next turn. Let's go ahead and grab Argoth. Then, yeah, we'll Druid's Charm. We'll have Titania punch Ral. And for 4. And then next turn we can go ahead and Ashaya or Green Warden, depending on what we... Sorcerer class. Comes into play, draw 2, discard 2. I guess they could have like a Force Spike. Oh, you hate seeing that. Oh, I guess I did just like have Prime Time because of the Castle Game Break. I didn't even think about that. Yeah, we'll play the Green Warden next turn then. Home of the Infinite. Okay, so they're gonna go for that type of combo play. That's not bad at all. I just put for a bunch. This is power enough to equal control. Let's just go ahead and grab our combo pieces then. Grab Dark Depths and Thespian Sage. Even though they're like at 2 mana now. For us not to station right here. Alright, at 2, like 5 mana, there's still a number of things they can do. Okay, they're gonna try and storm off now. They have the Grape Shot, but they don't have like anything that really enables their storm play. Okay, let's see if we can get through this with straight up attacks. Okay, so they're gonna fog. Fair enough. I'm gonna go. Actually, this is a good opportunity for me. Grab Pit Offering, and let's grab Cradle. So we can go ahead and eat Grape Shot, Big Score, and Fog. You got the fog off of the tome, right? And then... Oh, there is no damage in Bossing Say. Yep. Go ahead. Got additional land drops. I'm just gonna go grab some basic, probably. And now we can also... We already have the gate in play, yeah. There's kind of no reason for us not to. Then we will go ahead and station this. Take one away from being... They managed to fog for a turn. Not nothing. Yep. And then I don't know that we need to, like, pop the Dark Depths yet. Yep, they're gonna grab Thunderclap Trainer. They have 2 treasures. Island. 2. Okay, yeah. Counterspell. Sure. Time Warp. That would... pass. Yep. I'm not giving it priority because I still want to be able to, like, Dark Death if I need to in response to, like, a Psych Rift or something. Bribery. Yeah, go for it, champ. What's the best card in my deck that they can grab? Because I don't have any Eldrazi or anything like that. The Ancient Green Warden has Reach. I already have Primetime and Ashaya on board. Opponent's putting up a fight. Opponent is putting up a real good fight. Ooh, Kogla. Yeah, that would do it. Forgot about Kogla. Hogla can fight the Ancient Green Warden. Yeah, you got it. No more Ancient Green. If they hit like a Source of Plowshare, this is also just like really good for them. Getting rid of the Green Warden means that we don't have the ability to... Oh, it's a Ponder. Okay, so then we just get it. That's our win. I can't think of anything. Okay, yep. Maybe this says more about like our deck than cards like Bribery. But there is like a weird satisfaction that comes from the opponent attempting to grab, say, the best card in our deck, and then being able to say, my deck has nothing but pathetic cards, Kaiba. But that also probably means that maybe we should consider stuff like that, because if there isn't a creature that would just outright win the game for us, just something to consider. Did that get us a pack? Did not get. Just gems and then. What is that? Oh, right, yeah, it's an empty space, and then it looks like there's a tree in it because of the background. We already spent all of our orbs that we care to spend. Yeah. We 41 days left on the Mastery Pass, chat. 41 days left until we have to deal with Marvel set. Finally, home. Now you've got a sub 3-footer in tow. Is the niece over? Is the niece over? Because, like, I'm not gonna lie. I read that, I scanned it, and, like, my initial thought process was a 3-foot sub? Yo, we going to Quiznos? Something like that, but, not quite. I don't hate this. Cavern of Souls into Titania. I can't play the Charm, but I have some good top end waiting for me. I think I'm gonna drop the Nykthos first. Probably the Nykthos. Oh no, they're just gonna force of will the exploration. Okay, fair enough. With a memory lapse? Are people just playing high bay as like green-blue control now? Green-blue control that can just like get force of will stuff out? I mean, I guess, yeah. Oh no, am I getting Thought Seized? Yeah, I'm getting Inquisition, so there goes Archdruid Charm, which would have been an answer to the Shrine to start with. Yeah, we'll go ahead and just play that on. And then, I don't have the fetch lands out, so I can't really use the bullet just yet. It's absolutely not where I want to be. Yeah, this is not where I want to be. I don't want to be playing, just doing curve out magic right now. Now it gets high bay when their curve out's going to be so much better. Fact of the matter is that we're going to have to work a lot harder in this match than the high bay player is. We don't have any way to stop them from playing high bay, which means they are get free value. So if we expedition map, that works out. I want... See, are we always playing this? Expedition map can grab us any one lane. We use that to grab our Thespian stage or our Dark Depths. That works out. I think I'm always playing Crucible. Play this Wood of Foothills. I'm going to remember that Wood of Foothills has to crack for a land first. Here's that forest. Here's expedition map. They have a turn to that. Nissa can help me out with the aggro plan. Yes. The Dark Depths planet is going to be how we win, I think. Yep, here comes Hoden, which means I'm going to lose every card in my hand. That is very unfortunate. And also, this is just going to deal 3 damage to anything I put out, including the lands. The land itself is going to die. Up to 1 target non-creature land you control. Do that on Nykthos. This is tough. This is a really hard position to be in. Like, I have to drop my forest, guaranteed. I have to drop Nissa. And then I have to remember that the land itself is also going to get just, like, shot. Oh, they just had subtlety to round this out. Okay. Well, at least they're not going to be able to flicker High Bay right away, so there is that. No attacks, pass. Yep, I lose Lumra. And then that's just 3 to my face. And then High Bay also just gets a free attack in. Oh, never mind. They top deck Thassa, and now they're just gonna fucking stick her teeth in again. Alright. And we're already locked out into playing Nissa. So I'm going to go ahead and scoop this up. Like I said, high bay decks don't have to work as hard as we do. And like, I feel like I like phrasing it that way a lot more than just like getting salty that oh, people are only playing good cards, because it frames it as something that really just validates the feeling that I have without outright calling out other people for enjoying strong decks, right? Because if you're playing a deck that is inherently stronger, like if you're playing a control deck that uses Teferi, if you're playing Tamio or Johnny as your commander, if you're playing High Bay against a deck that doesn't have stack interaction, then like, yeah, it's just like, you know, kind of an observed truth that the opponent does not have to work as hard as you in the given matchup. And now you can like turn your mindset into how do we convert this into a matchup then? This is the one that makes Goyfs. Whenever a Lurgoy permanent card is put into your grave from anywhere other than the battlefield, put it onto the battlefield. Okay, so whenever a Goyf goes to your graveyard but didn't die, put it on the battlefield. Whenever one or more creatures you control deal combat damage to a player, make a Goyf token. This is going to be easy mulligan. We have like no green sources. It has plenty of green sources, but it's slow, so I'm really hesitant to hold on to this. All that again. This is... I feel like Oracle could help dig us out. Dark Depths is not a real mana source. We have green. Bushwhack can help us dig us out. Blizzard Brawl can help us out. How big are you? You're a 5/6? Way bigger than Titania is. So I'm going to need this Scouring Storm Soul. Put back the Oracle. We're also going to be on the draw, which sucks. Alright, just lean off on Elvish Mystic. Could have been a lot worse. I need to convert this Bushwhack immediately. I just do not have time to, like, play this out. I need the tempo from being able to go Forest, Ghost Quarter into Titania. And then I can even use this this hideout on the next turn to get the 3rd Forest to pump up this Blizzard Brawl. Or even play a Scouring Storm Soul. Alright, yep, Fanatic of Ronus. And Exploration is huge here, actually. But what was I going to do otherwise? Not a lot. So yeah, here's Exploration. Now we can go Forest into grab the quarter now. Yeah, grab the quarter now because again, we just need to make sure that we hit all of our land drops for Lizard Brawl purposes. You are power and toughness equal to the number of lands we have, right? Right. So we can actually hit the Fanatic of Ronus next turn. Yep, that's a 5/6, all right. A 5/6 that we just cannot. But I can't get rid of the Ronus and like stop their. All right, so they're scouring Storm Soul. Fight the Ronus so that way they don't just get to like turbo out mana. Oh, and then I also get to drop Dark Depths. Let's see. Dissa gets to attack. Whenever another one or more creatures deal combat damage, they get a Goyf token. Goyf token is card types in the graveyard. They got creature, land, sorcery, so that'd be a 3/3. I think I just take this hit. I can get the land back, and then hopefully the Goyfs don't get so huge and out of control. Okay, yeah, so they are going to go ahead and Balm, which is not ideal, not at all. Alright, Scouring Storm Soul is big. I don't have anything else I can do, though. Like, just, I literally don't have anything else I can do. I can drop Titania. Titania might die. This is 5 mana. I'm trying to think. Is there ever a reason I would want to, like, bring back the Scouring Storm Surge if it dies? I can bring back another land that way. I'm just trying to get more blockers out. Alright. Pass the turn. We are not the beat. Imagination. If I get the Well of Lost Dreams down, though, I think we'll be okay. In fact, I won't even crack the Wood of Foothills, just in case, because I think that's how we keep up with a deck like this. I also have to be careful, because I definitely don't want to crack a fetch land when the storm, when Sandman here has significant damage marked on. Okay, good. That works out for us. Now we get the draw. Expedition map is... Then I can use that to grab Thespian Stage. I'll have 1 mana that I can do with that. Might be... Give your upkeep. Each player draws 2. Yeah, let's go ahead and grab Thespian Stage right now. Yep. And then now Storm Soul is bigger. Now we have the option to go Dark Depths combo. Pass the turn. Yep, we're both going to draw 2 cards. And then they're going to mill. They can get back... Yep. Get that back. They don't have anything with reach. And that's what they're going to do. Let's go ahead and crack this now then so we can get just a little bit of life gain. And then, yeah, Titania can eat it. Titania goes... Anza. Yep, that's a Delight of Halfling. They only have, like, what? I'm trying to think. They might still have like something, but for the life of me, I couldn't tell you what it is. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. GG. That was a game that scared me a little bit with the Elvish Mystic start. But I think getting rid of the Rona when we did slowed them down just enough that we could hit our win condition here. Like, this is basically trying to be a take on mono green. I don't want to say like dredge. It's definitely like a mulch deck. It's a lands deck. It's a mono green lands deck. And all of our wins we're getting because of the Dark Depths combo, more or less. Yeah. Also, just for like the sake of sequencing, like for example, they did just like have Doldred's Edict sacrifice a token permanent. It would probably be something to the effect of Weathermaker, have 1, 5 mana, have 2 left over. This is 3. Play Bossing, say, get a counter on this. Turn that into Blossoming Tortoise, build lands, and then start rebuilding Thespian Sage and Dark Depths. Might even be like get the Dark Depths just because then we can hold on to that. We can like Ghost Quarter it and then use that with the other one later. I can pull it up in the deck list. So like the biggest thing is the Dark Depths count pull out. It is the Shifting Woodland. This is another card that we can use with Dark Depths, because this land becomes a copy of target permanent in our graveyard until end of turn. So if it becomes a copy of Dark Depths, well then it's a copy of Dark Depths without any counters on it. So the trigger goes on the stack, and then we can just get our 20/20 that way. What else do we have? Thespian Stage is here. Do we have the cave that does that? Versus cave as a tutor. Second Citadel helps pay for a... don't think we're running. There is a cave that has, when it comes into play, it becomes a copy of a land in our graveyard. But we're not running that, in part because we are running so many colorless sources. Bandit, hey, thanks for stopping by. We're doing all right. We're just doing some tuning on Titania. I'm trying to figure out some more, really more impactful top end that we can use as a finisher. So that way we're not locked into using the Dark Depths combo. If we take a look at the... not counting the fetch land. I can actually... Tab. Nykthos is, you know, for all intents and purposes, a colorless source. Pit of Offerings can exile a green source, but, you know, for the most part, you kind of have to treat it. Citadel is a tap land. Part of why we're running Yavimaya. 4, 5, 6, 8 colorless sources, and one of our lands doesn't even tap for mana without Yavimaya or Urborg. Sapling Nurse. I need 4 cores, but we're not running like. So this is probably like a card that we cut out for a Haymaker type effect. Being cut out the Sapling Nursery. How do I feel about the Summoner? The Summoner is a fun alchemy card, and like I like this because it turns our forest into creatures, and then it also just seeks forests and puts them onto the field. So there is that. Probably the Sapling Nursery, weird as it is. But I do want to make sure that I do want to have like these win conditions. I think that these token landfall win conditions are really fun. They're really good for like just the go wide plan. Actually, the Scoot Swarm also in that tree. So like we have good win condition deck. We just don't have anything that like shuts the door as effectively as a Dark Depths does. We could try running like Great Henge. Great Henge is really good for that. Like Great Henge is one of those haymakers that really takes over a game when you can just chain together creatures. The card that I always see, and I'm like, ah, no! It draws cards, it buffs your creatures, it gives you life, it's a floor wax and a dessert topping. We're probably only gonna have time for one more before we switch over to Final Fantasy. If you have, by the way, if you're over on the YouTube side and you're watching this, and you have an idea for like what a good haymaker for a mid-rangey mono green deck would be, go ahead and leave it in the comments. Okay, this is awkward. There's that Tranquil Thicket I was thinking about cutting for a forest. And we're up against Badric, Astral Archmage, which is a Storm deck. This hand is too slow, I think. Like, the tap land just kills it. I think this is better. Yeah, I think this is a lot better. Keep this. Lead off on Catacombs. Convert that into a basic forest. Drop the Grazer. Turn that into Castle Garenbrig. I can drop Titania on the next turn. Sandman afterwards. This is awkward because this only enchants forest, except we have okay, so now we can go Well of Lost Dreams, I guess. That doesn't really do a lot, but it'll help us keep up eventually. Well, there's Canvas Transformation if they ever get Vadric going, but 1, 2, 3. I'm one short of being able to turn this into 6. If we hit like one more land, I just like doing. I think I'm doing Well of Lost Dreams. I want to use my mana a little efficiently. Maybe I should have gotten like a better clock down. Okay. Flip out the... No! How did they know, chat? How did they know? I guess it makes sense, right? I'm playing a mono green deck, so I'm just not going to have like any huge things to do. Now they can just like go off on the next turn. I get to play 2 lands a turn. I don't get to pay the life here. Let's see. We pay X for X is less than. We pay X where X is less than or equal to the amount of life you get. So I can take the action here. Pay 1. I mean, it's something, I guess. You know what? I'll pay. Cosmic Hunger. That helps me out next turn. Let's see if we just, like, die, though. Like, they have Brain Freeze as a storm condition now, too. Although they have to work considerably harder to make Brain Freeze work. Okay. So then... let's go... crack this card. Gain life. I will pay 2. Go ahead, grab another forest. And then... Let me Cosmic Hunger with Titania. They have mana open. But I'll just use Camera's Transformation if this is just a straight up counterspell. Draws 2, make 2 treasures. You would think that I would have like a Naturalize or something for that medallion. Okay, yep, there's a Syncopate. I now have a Bite Down. I have a Yavimaya that's actually like really big for me. Decline, play the Yavimaya from the graveyard. Decline. I also just like don't have anything that'll like actually make the Bite Down worth. Funny enough. Bite Down now? What does that do for me? I don't think it does a whole lot of anything, if I'm being honest. Like, I just have to respect so much that they... Okay. Sure, yeah. I mean, that's a 5/5. I'm not getting through that. But they still have their Sapphire Medallion. They can still storm off. I have to pray that that they can't just get by on the medallion itself. I have to rely on the fact that maybe they need another creature. Yep, that's pillage. I'm also just kind of working with... Motherfucker! Yep, solve the equation. That could literally be anything. They could be like another copy of, you know, a pillage type card to keep ramping, but they're probably going to grab like a payoff card or a way to deal with Kenrith so they can keep going on. What are you? You were just a 1/2 naturally, so right now you currently have 4 toughness. Which means that as soon as Titania transforms, she can fight you. Okay, yeah, they're gonna go with the Psych Rift so they can... do I block? I might block with the Ice Till Explorer, so that way Bite Down becomes a real thing. Yeah, I don't hate using the Explorer here as a blocker. Because now Titania does her thing. Oh, I don't have Argoth on board. That's right. That's right. Now I have to figure out how I'm going to get through this when they have Psych Rift coming up. Psych Rift. There's non-land permanents. What do I have that? Do I have a Shia? What's my game? Anything that I try and do is going to be problematic because of the Psych Rift, which bounces the Kenrith, which means what I actually need is an Ancient Green Warden. That means we can Cavernous Souls, name Elemental, sure, why not? We can also Sunken Citadel, which comes to play tapped. I don't think so. Like, I'm trying not to, like, commit to stuff. Oh, I don't get the additional land drops with that, that's right. Whoopsie doodle. I don't know how I'm playing around this. That's a Trite Sanctum. Alright, so yeah. Nykthos, Shrine to Nyx. That's pretty good. And then what? Like, I go to combat, I attack with the Green Warden. I can Nykthos and start using Nykthos to chain stuff together. That might be the best course of action. Like, there's no way they don't just, like, do this end of turn, right? Right. So then... I don't think I have a choice. Yep. Put a god counter on it, huh? 3, 6. They still have 7. Yep. That gets to happen. It didn't pop the Psych Rift. Not yet. I'm still trying. I'm still waiting. And now they drop the Temporal Mastery. 1, 2, 6. No, they have 5. They have 5. And the Bite Down doesn't even, like, do anything. Yep. Oh, God, alright. Yep, that's a Mox Amber. We're both just dancing. We're both just dancing around everything the other's trying to set up for. Okay, we get to untap? Alright, sweet. We get to untap. Nissa. If I hold up Nissa... That's kind of it. Also got this fetch land in hand. If I have a fetch land in hand, I only have 1 land drop in the first place. Then... Go to combat. We're gonna see who blinks first, chat. We're gonna see who blinks first. This is... Sacrifice this god, put an indestructible counter on target god. Jesus Christ. If I attack with everything, am I fine there? Am I fine with... I could just, like, attack with Titania as well. I think that's what I do. I think I'm not worried about Titania. Like, yeah, if they do that, then that's additional damage marked on Badric. Okay, so they are going to do that, and they have the ability to make him indestructible anyway. Like, I'm going to do it. And then we're going to try and just, like, redeploy and hope everything works out. I guess I could have waited. But then, if I don't have any creatures on board... Like, this... I am out of options for dealing with Badric. I just have to, like, turbo go after the fact. Means being able to replay the sapling. Means being able to... Yep. Yep. Sure thing. Yep, it's... Let's see, hand. But also now I can just, like... I can still do stuff. Like, here's Utopia Sprawl. Put that onto a forest. Name green. This is also still green. That's green. I can go into Warden, but not without using my Nykthos mana. Oh, wait, I should have played Nissa first. Yeah, okay. Go ahead, crack that. Start looping some mana together. Because the important thing really is just that, like, we deal with Kenrith. Okay, so they have Louis Suave's Sacrifice. Okay, but they only have like one card left. They have one card left. I have 4 mana. I have 4 mana, so... Alright. Let's see how far they can go on the 2 cards they have. Like, win, lose, or draw, we both gave it a hell of a showing. I've got Nykthos mana, I've got Garen Break, there's no more Psych Rift, I can just vomit out my entire hand. Well, fuck me. Cast up to 1 target instant or sorcery from your graveyard with mana value X or less without paying their cost. A spell cast this way will be put into your graveyard, exile it. If 10 and more, copy each of those spells twice. Yep. Alright. Yeah, that'll do it. Invert Polarity. There's your library for an instant sorcery. They were sandbagging so hard. Just fighting for this one opportunity because now Badrick just, that's enough for me. GG's. G fucking G. Honestly, we fought that better than I think we had any right to. Considering that we're on mono green. Like, we don't have any way to interact with that deck normally. We only have, like, ways to deal with Vadric. Maybe we have, like, some exile stuff, but... just ain't happening. Like, we both knew what the score was. And maybe the answer is... don't fire the bite down right then. Because if we do it then of course they go ahead and activate and give Vadric indestructible. That's not what we wanted. If I had taken an extra minute to think about it, I think what I would have done is let it resolve, put everything back into my hand, give them the opportunity to make a mistake, because if I cast the Ancient Warden and they don't in response, I still have an ability to bite down on it in response to them doing the land trigger, what they're playing around. But at the same time, like, I need to play the Kenrith so that way I just get rid of their thing. Even though the Kenrith actually just makes bigger. I don't know, it's hard. It's a hard position to be in. I might need to put something like a Cityscape Leveler back into the deck. Oh yeah, I'm over here. Alright. Did I ever grab... I need to go see if I ever grabbed my... Wait, no, it's Tuesday, right? It's Tuesday. Wait, hold on. Did I ever... Do I have... Okay. That's why I wanted to, like, hang out. I wanted to grab my Centaurio mark. I'd like to finish my thought. Yeah. There was an opportunity for me to let the opponent make a mistake, but... you know, at some point, Vadric just got too big for us to deal with. So maybe what I need to do is I need to include a Cityscape Leveler. I think that would be a good card to include. At the same time, though... like, we got to play the enchantment that makes everything go wide, so maybe what I should have done was play that out a lot sooner, so that way we can start forcing the issue, like make more tokens, get more pressure, force them to use Psych Rift before they really want to, rather than like letting them sit on it until they're ready to just pop off. That might have been the right thing they could do, but it's hard to say as they go. We're gonna go do Google chores, and then we're gonna pop over to Chloe, get our weekly Wondrous Tales. Honestly, still a really good game. We have 3 tickets left. So then, do we want to go clan hunting and then? Yeah, maybe we want to go clan hunting and then pick up our... No, pick up our Wondrous Tales, because I'm going to forget otherwise. Yeah, I am looking forward to actually just going out a bar to hang out and do a little bit of drinking. I haven't done that since like my 20s. I haven't done that since my 20s. Like, it'll be so much more fun this time because I'm actually going with someone else. I think the only time I ever really went out to hang out at bars was when I found out that there was a lesbian bar near the college campus I went to. And I was like, hot damn, I'm gonna go. And then I realized, oh, still have to like be able to talk to people, and like without a bridge into connecting people, it's like, well, how the fuck do you introduce yourself, right? Because like you can introduce yourself to someone because you're attracted to them, then you might not be attracted to them. Obviously, you have to have like the course. There we go. I did talk to the bartender a little. Like, well, you know, you gotta just like, it's just normal dating. You gotta put yourself out there. And internally, I'm just like, can I just try rizzing you up? Can I just try rizzing you up instead? This was before I was dating, by the way. Not that that would have made like, too much of a difference because Ollie, but at the same time, it's like, no, this is the stuff that we do when we're craving companionship. We go into open water, try our best to paddle around. I carry myself like an extrovert, but the fact of the matter is that I was always just kind of hoping for someone to come in and adopt me. But then that has its own problems where it's like, okay, yeah, you know, you put yourself out there as someone who is looking to be picked up by someone else, but then, you know, maybe that person doesn't end up working out for you. And so it's like, okay, I can either go out there and fish for something and then end up picking up something that I'm going to end up throwing back, or I can put myself out there to be fished and then end up getting picked up by someone that I want to be thrown back by. At no point do I ever actually consider, well, what if it actually just... Dating's hard. Dating difficult because you have to just be able to put in the work and be willing to Alright, Miss Mirthful Moogle, what? It's there, over here. It's kind of, you know, it's a little bit like deck building relationship. Maybe sometimes people have to work a little bit harder, build those connections than other people, but that's not a, you know, a baseline. Oh, this person is so OP level. That is a skill issue. That is factually a skill issue. Well, no, maybe it is actually just a little bit harder for some people, built in because of, like, built-in anxiety. Some people just have. You know, so my wife was kind of like. My wife and I talk about it all the time, where it's like, you know, it was, you know, approaching people was kind of hard for me unless it was specifically at a game shop. But that's also why, like, going to game shops is good for friends, and it's why, you know, you're looking for people with the hobby interest. You want to go to the hobby spots, right? Because then it's a built-in excuse to talk to people, the built-in bridge to be like, okay, well, maybe this person isn't exactly the one that I'm looking for building a friend outside of this hobby, but you at least have the hobby as a starting point. Forward and back and forward, back, forward and back across the map. So when we go to the bar tomorrow, I am going to feel comfortable just being like me and my wife. But then we're also going to be going to there and we're going to be playing some bar magic. Just like hang out, play some game, drink, be merry. And then hopefully that'll lead into like just more, you know, hey, you know, you play magic, I play magic. What else are you interested in? Oh, you are? So me too. You know, except it'll be like, you know, me and my wife's style. Hey, me and my wife noticed that you play magic from across the bar. Hey, Sam. Thanks for stopping by. We're just taking care of chores this week. Bar magic? As in, is this your lethal? Actually, it's funny. When I was in college, I met a girl that I thought was cute, and I was like telling her about what we were talking about hobbies, and I was like, oh yeah, I play magic, you know, and all of we got a bunch of people who hang out in the cafeteria and they do magic. Oh, I supposed to, huh? Okay, maybe we gotta find like a different. Expecting to thing suitable for. Okay, well then, what about? Oh, far out here then. Oh. But nothing. What the hell is going on here? Like, I'm looking. Hold on. What happened with the story? Sorry, I got confused by the Koopa story. So okay. So like, I'm talking to a girl that I think is cute. And I'm telling her that play magic with a bunch of people in the cafeteria, and she's like, "Oh, can you show me?" And I'm like, "Oh yeah, absolutely." So I pull out my deck and like I'm letting her, and I hand it to her, and she just kind of looks at me awkward. I'm like, "Go ahead, take a look." And she flips through them, and she says, "Oh, this is a game?" I'm like, "Yeah." Oh, I thought you all did magic tricks. I was imagining like a room full of people just like doing magic tricks with each other. And I lived in a world where magic tricks just like, yeah, of course, you'd be thinking that, you know, you say you play magic and cards, that's like card tricks and stuff like that. I think that was the last time I talked to her. Sorry, you're just you're a little too normal to be to be on this ride. You have to be at least this inundated in other culture to really get in on it. Hold on. What the hell is this? You speak with a Moogle at Sawmill who confirms that he knows little about what crystals looks like, let alone where he should gather them. Help him by finding a source of and a sample crystal that the young one can take with him when he goes harvesting. Harvest a crystal sample from Koopa trees at the landlord colony. I mean, those are Koopa trees. This is weird. You find crystals, but none suitable for harvesting. Like, then what's going on? You wanted to date a real party magician? Would rather be a witch? I mean, yeah. See, I want to learn like a couple of card tricks because that sounds like a good thing for socializing, right? They say that if you carry a deck of playing cards around, like, you know, just your normal 60 card Jack, Queen, King, Ace poker deck, then you will have no trouble making friends and not being bored. You already checked that one. How many of these trees are there? Like, it looks like it's just 4. Maybe I'm actually supposed to go to this one over here? Like, you can go ahead, you can play games, you can play Old Maid, you can play Go Fish, you can learn how to do tricks. Usable for this. What am I doing wrong here? Like, there's 4 trees. Okay, hold on. Maybe it's this tree over here. This one's like right on the edge. I don't think I hit. There we go. Okay, finally. That one had me off kilter for a second. But yeah, you can do tricks, you can play games. Even if you just like, even if all you do is you build a house of cards, like you're still finding a way to kill time that isn't going to eat your phone battery, that isn't going to eat like your game battery or whatever. That is easy, clean setup. The cards are cheap, so like if you lose it, it's whatever. You can literally just take these cards, practice throwing them into a hat. I don't know. When I was playing Balatro, I kind of became enamored with the idea of having a deck of playing cards on me just to like do all that stuff. And then I was like, oh, right. I like the aesthetic of a deck of cards, but I don't actually like care all that much about anything I can do with the cards themselves. Which is sad because I actually used to collect decks of playing cards. You know how they make like novelty versions? You know, it's basically like Monopoly except with playing cards. I used to collect a bunch of them, especially when I went to anime conventions. It'd be stuff like, oh, actually, you know what? I have a deck of playing cards where they all have Yu-Gi-Oh designs or Hitman Reborn designs. You know, and I always kind of fancied the idea of being someone who collected a thing and then collected a bunch of different designs of that thing. And I thought playing cards could be something like that. I still have a bunch. I've got the Kingdom Hearts 2 playing cards. With the poker deck, you can lie. You put 5 consecutive cards over your face and say, look, I'm straight. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. Damn, you might actually just be one of the greatest wing chatters of all time. So, like, here's the bit, right? As a streamer, you have to be able to entertain an audience on your own without having to rely on the back and forth with a chat. At the same time, though, there's no denying. There is no denying that the job is significantly easier when you've got someone in chat who is willing to banter on your level. More importantly, someone who understands your vibe and is willing to banter on your level, because there are people who come in and they're very happy to try and start bantering. But, like, you know, they haven't been assimilated into the culture of the chatter. And so they might say something that's either like a little too racy or a little too aggressive or uncouth on that matter. It's just like, it creates something that's a little more combative than actually, like, you know, fun, punchy, as opposed to, you know, the more proverbial trash talking. People laugh at school. True. It's true. I see a lot of people who, like, you know, they get into variety streaming because they're like, you know, I just want to make people laugh. And that's not like a bad sentiment by any means. Certainly the point of entertainment is to, like, you know, entertain people. If you are streaming, then you are making it your prerogative to make the happiness of others your goal and an objective. At the same time, though, it's like, well, you wouldn't have to be streaming in order to make people laugh, right? Like, you could still, like, make videos, you could write a joke book. Jess would probably buy it immediately and then quote everything at me. Although, to be fair, he hasn't done that. So, you know, if you're getting into streaming because you want to make people laugh, I think you need to find a secondary, more personal reason to stream than just the entertainment of other people. Because there are so many other ways to entertain people. Also, we are only 430 away. If it's 150, so 150, 300, 450, 3 more days. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. We'll be done with Google chores by the end of the week. Or from. Okay, yeah, so we're gonna go to Ideal Shire. I'm gonna grab my Wondrous Tales first and foremost. And then we're gonna head to Az's Law for this hunt log. Although the hunt log takes all week. Wondrous Tales. But I also need the Centaurio seal so I can get more tickets. Cause like, how many do I have? 230? Okay, maybe I actually just have enough. Girl who just like gets used to using Aether tickets all the time. Charcoal. Everyone's hanging out for Wondrous Tales 2. Yeah, we got Ultimate Weapon, Halley Knight, Thorn March, World Eater. We can even go ahead. We also got like PvP. Need to make sure that we do too, so go ahead, do that. Take a second to like turn down the 14 just a little bit, because I was rewatching the VOD yesterday. You know, again, it's just like normal quality assurance stuff that I do. Watch the VODs, but also like I actually watching. I like rewatching the Magic. Anytime that I have like a really good game, I like going back and rewatching the match and just being like, "That's good Magic." Understandably, rewatching the games where I lose less, but I probably should be in the habit of rewatching those just so I can be like, is there something I could have done to optimize this a little bit more? More people are making Wondrous Tales because they're leveling from 70 to 80. Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's always going to be the case though. You're right that all the free trial players are going to be power leveling now. But also, it is Tuesday. It's the first day for Wondrous Tales, so you always see a little crowd getting together, not just the free trial players who are power leveling. Like, Wondrous Tales is just one of the easiest ways to get a lot of XP. And it's part of why it's worked into our regular routine here, the daily grind. Actually, should I be frontlines maxing while I go and hunt the thing? Maybe. If I start hunting the thing, then... Well, no. If I hunt the thing, then I get caught into the Wondrous Tales, then I could just, like... I can't run away. I can locate. Go see if we can find it. Rewatching games to learn is really good. Studying flaws is fine. You can say you've areas to improve. Yeah. Yeah, that's basically the big reason to rewatch them. Oh, hey, we didn't even have to do anything. That's absolutely the big reason to rewatch old games. Part of it is remembering that I'm not playing these games on stream to like hyper optimize. I am focused primarily on entertaining and trying to play Magic at the same time, so it's really more like practicing multitasking more than anything else. But you're right. You're absolutely right. I'm much more willing to do something like that when I am like in deep mid to hardcore practicing, I want to say. Because the same thing applies with fighting games, right? If you are getting into fighting games, then you absolutely want to try recording your matches. That way you can see where you're struggling, what decisions are costing you and stuff like that. And if I was going to be doing something like getting deep into ranked brawl or something like that, I would probably be reviewing the footage from the actual ranked games themselves rather than my stream game. So really what you can say is that I'm rewatching the stream games because I actually do find them entertaining. Which is a good sign. It's a good sign. Like, there aren't a lot of Brawl streamers right now. Especially on the YouTube. Like, there are YouTubers that play Brawl. There's like 4 or 5 of them. But they all do the same thing, right? Which is they post edited content to showcase a singular deck that they brewed together. And then it's like 3 or 4 matches, however much they can squeeze in from half an hour to an hour. And very rarely is it going to be showing off a loss. Like, it's a highlight. It's a deck profile type video where it's like, hey, you want to play this new commander that came out? Well, here's a deck where you can go ahead and try this. This is a list that I may or may not have spent like an hour putting together. And like, there may or may not be some testing that goes through. But we're definitely going to go ahead and try it out, which is like fine. But then one of the big reasons why I've been on a push to try and remove a lot of the grief and salting from my stream is because when I watch those types of deck profile streams, if the streamer starts going into a salt fest, right? Like if they start going into a salt siesta, then I get turned off. I get turned off. I don't want to watch it anymore. I'm like, well, if you don't like playing this, if you're going to complain about these things that are part of the format, then why are you here? And I understand like how frustrating that feels from an eye's perspective. So we work on it. Work on it. We identify it as a pain point, and we try and do better. And you know, your success may vary. Success will vary. Now, I'd still too much negativity in the world already. Yeah, that's part of it. I think it's also just like you're doing a hobby activity, right? You're doing a hobby activity and you're watching something in an area where the maybe the negativity like hits you a little bit more. Now, I'm not perfect. I'm not saying that every streamer needs to be, you know, Mother Teresa and have the infinite patience and wisdom to go, you know, well, hey, you know what? This is just going to be a happy little mistake that we make, and like, you know, maybe I don't care for this, but you know, that's just how the play environment is. You know, you don't have to have the patience of a Bob Ross or a Mr. Rogers or something like that in order to be a streamer. I'm not saying that should be a prerequisite, because God knows that I am not at that level yet. But I am constantly aware of how much it impacts the form of entertainment. That's all I'm saying. Mother Teresa was an awful person, by the way. Like, really an evil person? What? I'm gonna need some elaboration in the Discord. Can't tell on Twitch what she did. Oh my god. I'm gonna need elaboration in the Discord. Because, like, that would be, that is an actual that's a shocking thing to hear. That is a shocking thing to hear when someone that I have only ever heard about in a pop cultural reference has been spoken of so reverently. I'm not saying anything's not possible, because like God knows I haven't actually done like the research on anything to, you know, say for sure, but you know, that's just an issue of reputation. Which, if you think about it, you know, kind of goes right back to what I was saying, right? Like, it's just reputationally wise. This is how you hear about people. This is that you get. Also, it's let's see. Did we actually fight here? No, I think we back off. Yeah, I think we back off and like... Yep, too much detail. Exploitation of child suffering to make a profit. I'm having flashbacks to Big Mom's backstory. I'm having so many flashbacks to Big Mom's backstory right now because, like, she grew up in an orphanage that was headed by a nun that was widely regarded and had a really good reputation, but she was selling kids off into slavery and was going to sell Big Mom as a child slave because Big Mom was like giant or half giant or something like that. I wonder if that was. If there's anyone I would trust to actually like understand world history, then it would be Oda, that has a strong sense of world history. Like, goddamn. The things you learn just by talking. Astounding. Fantastic, even. Okay, so let's pull this back from the original point, right? Pull this back to the original point. The original point being, so because I don't have any YouTubers that I enjoy watching Brawl content from right now, I kind of have to be the change that I want to see in the world. And now I am ostensibly, without making this, I know this sounds conceited, but I am my favorite Brawl streamer right now. Like, I don't always watch everything that I do, not in all great detail, but I think you have to be a fan of your own work in order to truly enjoy it and make something that you can be proud of. I think that is the truth. I think that if you are an author, then you need to like the books that you read. Because then otherwise, like, why are you putting the effort and energy into making a book like that? If you are a musician, you need to like your own music. If you're an actor, you need to be able to watch your performance and be like, actually, you know what? You know, I can watch this movie. Like, maybe you worked on the movie a little too hard, so like actually have the ability to watch it in a subjective point of view. But you could at least still be proud of it. Oh, we got. Being a streamer, like, there are a lot out there that rely on bad faith criticism and there's a lot of streamers that rely on like rage baiting and stuff like that. I enjoyed being one of those people. It was funny when we were in college and we were watching the Nostalgia Critic do the rage bait thing, and we were watching Angry Video Game Nerd do the rage streamer rage thing. But like, you know, anytime that Lila or Jess has talked about like, no, we're you know, this is the gimmick, this is the bit, we're doing this thing because, you know, because my suffering is entertainment, and it's like, no, it's not, buddy. No, it's not. Your communities don't want to see you suffer. They want to see you having fun and being entertained. And like, if you build here's okay. Like, ignoring the fact that, like, you know, B Chronicle members like Jess and myself are still building our members. We're still building our community. Like, with that acknowledgement, if you are saying that you want to build your community on a foundation of tee-hee, I am suffering, please laugh and enjoy, you're kind of, I feel like you're building the expectation that you are a punching bag of sorts. Like, yeah, there might be like a, you know, a tee-hee getting angry, getting frustrated, or, you know, getting spooked or whatever. But at the same time, it's like, I don't know. Not a health professional, but it kind of sounds like a coping mechanism. You know about self-deprecating humor, because yeah, done in the past. That's kind of what I'm saying. That's kind of what I'm saying. It does sound kind of similar to if I laugh at myself first, then it doesn't hurt as much when everyone else laughs at me. And that would make sense for someone like Jess. It doesn't make sense. It wouldn't. It makes a little less sense for someone like Lila, because first of all, Lila is awesome. Lila isn't. Lila is. But also, like, you know, there is just a... I feel like there is a little bit of a monkey see, monkey do. There are streamers out there that can build that type of culture, but I feel like that's also seen a lot of the bigger streamers who have already built a core audience. So when they do fail spectacularly and fail as entertainment, it's just part of the persona. It's not the goal to create an environment of, chat is bullying me, therefore it's funny. It's just more like, no, this is just like the dynamic between the streamer and chat. Ergo, what you're seeing is that in its raw form, and that's what's entertaining. It's a little bit like what me and my husband do. We have a very, I wouldn't say combative relationship, but there is a lot of back and forth between us. There is a lot of verbal sparring. I have had friends say, observing us, along with wife, that watching us is like watching a romantic comedy because of how much back and forth we have. But, you know, it's a relationship that's built on love, and it's built on the idea that we can trust each other with that part of vulnerability. I enjoy doing the verbal repartee with my husband and my wife because they know where my boundaries are. It's not, the relationship is not built on the repartee. The repartee is built on the relationship. Isla's honestly pretty rad. 100% agree. 100% agree. Lila goes to hardcore death metal concerts from coming to school as fuck. Yeah, and my wife wants to too as well. My wife wants to go to death metal concerts again. She was jealous when Lila said that she was into Metalocalypse. Where are we? Yasmin goes forward and back. Is he Alexander? Okay, there's a yellow. There's a that we can fight for. Okay. We've got yellow. Oh, we got 2 yellows coming in. What is this gonna turn into? Alright, chat, buckle up. We are like so close. We're like 70 points away from actually just like getting it. Means that if we go all in, we can actually just like get it right here, right now. Sweet. All right, hold on to your butts. Yeah, we got there. Been on a good winning streak lately. Well, maybe not like a streak, but like we have a good percentage of it so far. We've got like 15 minutes left. Look at all those yellows still have to do and ask. Oh right, there's a triple riot match over there too. Soon. Once we don't have Moogle chores to take care of anymore. We'll try doing something probably. Yep. By the way, chat, if you didn't know, you do not have to do the Wondrous Tales level sync. You can do these unrestricted solo. Was talking to a guy about this. He thought you had to be level synced, so he missed out. He's missed out on a ton of Wondrous Tales value. Just get a high level job and then you two can start clearing stuff. In fact, with the Shadowbringers update, even free to play should be able to get to level 80, get the Crypt Lurker gear, and then start clearing some of these freebies. Although I guess like if you're in Shadowbringers, then you've unlocked Shadowbringers content, which means that's going to show up on your Wondrous Tales too. Okay, maybe it's not like as easy as I made it out to be originally. Yesterday, a staff member from a local card store, I feel like an old lady, showed a card from the bulk box and told me, what's that? Apparently a staple card from 20 years ago is old enough for people who work at the store to not even know about it. So mad. So mad, chat. There are kids today who weren't around when Yu-Gi-Oh! And Pokemon and all these were around. We are factually reciting the old magics to them now. Actually, when I think about it, I think I'm actually more... I'm less mad about being old enough to remember the old magics. And actually just, like, more mad that some of these kids are getting into finance bro stuff on card games. One of the streamers that I follow, Emmy, her nephew is on the finance bro kick. We're putting in Pokemon card stuff. And I find that so distasteful. Like, to kind of use Fran's words, it is not a sin to be engaged in market speculation. That is, in fact, just capitalism in motion. If there is a way to make money, then people are going to find ways to make money, and they're going to find ways to try and make easy money. So, like, the anger is ostensibly at the system. At the same time, though, I am allowed to be peeved as hell that there are kids who look at a Pokemon card and they think about, oh, this thing's like worth $70, instead of just being like, Sylveon. I like Sylveon. But it was Marauding Captain. He appears in Rhoda. People play Rhoda, right? Right? Oh my god. If I try and say Rhoda when I'm playing like Speed Duel with my wife, she gets so confused because Rhoda is apparently something else to her. I can't remember what off the top of my head. But like, it was so weird. Be like, play Rhoda, and she's like, what? Which, like, it's definitely not an age thing because we were both playing Yu-Gi-Oh! When we were kids. We were both playing Yu-Gi-Oh! When we were kids, so it's not like a, oh, this is only something only old heads know. No, absolutely not. Okay, hold on. Too many moogles. I didn't play competitive Yu-Gi-Oh! For like a long time. But when I did, probably some of the better Yu-Gi-Oh! of my life. It's part of why I like the Yu-Gi-Oh! Format. That was, in fact, the only time I was, quote, good at Yu-Gi-Oh! You always tend to prefer the formats where you, like, really felt in groove with everything. And Plant Tank Diffusion Fortress Shula was viable. Okay. Getting pained in part because just a notice from another server. That's all it was. Try and fight the Leviathan. Leviathan, Leviathan. Leviathan, Leviathan. Casual Yu-Gi-Oh! For you? No idea what the Fiendsmith does? I don't think I know either. Like, I know that it's an extension package that you can include in just about any deck. Like, you can run the Fiendsmith package in Quants, which is where I know it from, but I haven't actually played with those cards at all. In some ways, I'm like too scared to ask. Okay, oh, you have to actually. Sometimes those fishermen can not fast enough. One of these will cast a Ender spell on you. and it'll just like potentially make you walk off the boat, which is a reset. I don't even need the green on. Like the damage that Leviathan does with this Great White just isn't gonna be enough. By the way, chat, speaking of casual Yu-Gi-Oh! I can feel the shift in my my deciduous priorities right now. Because my enthusiasm for playing pre-modern has waned a bit now that I understand that I need more work in order to like be really good at the deck that I want to play in. Like it's one thing to just have a deck that I really like. That goes a long way towards helping me enjoy a thing. I like being a one trick that can enjoy the one thing. But also Leviathan start going. Make sure that you're not on the half of the boat that Leviathan's going to go over, otherwise he knocks you off the boat, so watch out for that. Basically, it's that conversation that we've had about fighting games before, where really you can enjoy fighting games, anyone can get into them, they're surprisingly accessible, except for the fact that if you really want to like enjoy them, you need a level of practice and familiarity that isn't going to come like right at the gates. You have to dedicate the time to do the studying and practice and get familiar, just like getting into a card game. Like, yeah, card games are turn-based, but if you're playing online, like on Arena or on Master Duel, you have to deal with the timer, which means that you don't have as much time to think through all your moves. You're not playing with a friend who can just like, you know, sit there and hang out with you and talk to you. You're playing against someone who just waiting for you to do your thing. Did I got a number upstream today? But hey, don't go anywhere just yet. We love when our community the raid. Love passing the love on to people who might be trans, might be playing card games, might be playing Final Fantasy, they might be playing something else entirely, but they're just cool. And we've actually been introduced to a couple of really cool streamers that I still pop in on. Get all those beautiful clusters. So I guess the onus of that is just thank you, random paladin friend. Thank you, random endgame paladin friend. Give him a little. All right. So we're gonna go ahead and end the stream here. If you're on the YouTube side, thank you so much for hanging out. Don't forget to give the stream a like, and you know about those mono green haymakers that you would recommend. We'll go ahead and end. Oop. Over on the Twitch side, just double check. Let's go ahead and see who's